Good afternoon, colleagues. Welcome back. I do hope some or most of you were able to get some refreshments. It's important to take care of yourselves as well. And we as our best with rest. Thank you for coming back. I think the length of time we've been going today is testament to the scrutiny that we're giving this, but also the fact that we have a difficult decision to make. During the recess, we ask officers to go and discuss and come back with some more information around the implications of the decision that we're being asked to make today and the consequences depending on the action that we take. And I invite Fiona and colleagues to come back with what they have discussed.
Thank you, Shane. Amy, would you like to come in first with the financial, just so that there's an understanding in the IGB of the financial position? Thanks.
Yeah, certainly. So as part of the savings this financial year, we're looking to make savings of £1.8 million from the savings that we'll make from the reduction of the requirement to continue to use Rosewell House. And that saving is really crucial to us as an organisation, as I know that you're all well aware. If we aren't able to go forward with the proposal that we've put forward, then I think it's really important that instruction is issued to the Chief Officer on how that gap will be filled in the finances. And obviously it's not obviously we've got a saving potential in 25, 26. There's obviously the follow-on consequences into 26, 27 year if we're not able to move forward with that saving now. So obviously that would need to come back as part of the budget for the following financial year that will be tabled in due course. So I think it's just really important to understand that there are financial implications as well as the more practical discussions that we're having around provision of care.
Amy, Neil, do you want to just clarify some points as well, please? Thank you.
Yeah, I think the main point to probably clarify is that there is legal scope to go to tender, and with some caveats in there to reduce timelines. But I would be advising the board not to go in that direction. I think there's a risk that we would not get adequate or sufficient bids, because there would be some significant risk for any bidder in terms of that contract ending at very short notice. But remember, they recruit staff for these services, and in this case, high potential staff, which then would set them in a financial position as well. So certainly from CPSS, we would not recommend any caveats and going out with reduced or with timescales as such being suggested. Overall, our preference would be to go out as the paper stands at the moment from the financial package coming.
Thank you very much, colleagues, and thank you for that expert advice. It's very much appreciated. It's very clear that we don't have an easy decision for us. Most of my volunteering and my working life has been spent in lived experience roles, where I've either used my own lived experience or I've been working with people for whom I must consider the impact of any decision that is made. And that rests heavy upon my shoulders today. There's an impact for those who would use this facility, but there is also a broader impact on the wider system, and that's an impact that we cannot get away from. We've heard today from our experts that there's a £1.8 million potential financial consequence if we move in one direction. If we move in that direction, we must find, and I paraphrase, £1.8 million. And we must also take a decision continuously. We have consequential work in the pipeline as a result of the changes that we seek to make. And I've listened very carefully to the assurances that officers have said they would come back with to make sure that we can have sight of the impact of our decisions, that we can have sight of the mitigations of the impacts that this would have. And I think it's also important to note that we're not looking to make any changes overnight. I think we've come a long way where we were 2 hours ago. It's also essential that we note what would we do if we choose to move in a certain direction? What other impacts would we cause as a result of that 1.8 million having to be found? And what does this do to the even more difficult decisions that we must take in 2026, 2027, and beyond? I sit here today with a heavy heart of the decision that must be made, but it's a decision which must be made. And it must be made having taken all reasonable measures to make sure that we have assurance, but also that we're doing right for the broader system and the wide range of services that we provide to the people we support now and the people that will need our help in the future. David, I understand that you had specific queries and concerns over this, so I come to yourself.
Thank you, Chair. I can only echo the heavy heart with which I find myself in on taking this decision. I've had a useful conversation with Fiona and colleagues during the intermission, and given with the caveat of the wording that we've put in the chat, with one typo, there's in G, to agree that a further mitigation plan will be shared with colleagues, not that will be shared with colleagues. I'd be willing to vote in favour. Thank you.
Does anyone else wish to make any comment on this? Just give me a moment, if you would, please. Colleagues, content that you've had an opportunity to see the wording that we're now agreeing?
Yep.
Can you clarify that with G, please? Yeah.
Yep.
So, to agree that a further mitigation plan will be shared with colleagues. So that's by that plan.
So I wasn't sure which that you were going to keep, and I think that is better.
That being said, are we happy to agree recommendations?
Agreed.
Yes,
Thank you,
agreed.
colleagues. I realise that it has taken quite a few steps to get to where we are. I think I say on behalf of everybody, none of us are entirely happy at where we've got to, but we've worked with what we're able to work with. I thank our officers for their assistance in this, and also for the guidance that they have been able to offer. And if you just give me a moment, my notes have decided to abandon me. Okay, thank you very much, Chair. Colleagues, I now move to agenda item 9.2, the Supplemental Procurement Work Plan 2025-26. This is the additional circulation. I draw your attention to pages 3 to 12. And I also draw your attention to the exempt appendix at 10.1. Before we deal with this, can I go to Neil? Is there anything that you want to say about the public part of this?
What a position to be in. First of all, I think I would like to apologise, Chair, that you and the board received a late report. That's not the way I think we want to do business. And I'd like to thank Emma for her patience in dealing with that paper. We've got various people here who can speak to the paper if there are any questions, and I think it's probably all I need to say at the moment.
Thank you very much. I do draw your attention to the fact there is an exempt appendix.
Yes.
Does anyone have questions that would stray into the exempt appendix? That being the case, does anyone have questions for the public part of the paper? Okay. It's getting to that time of day, I appreciate it. That being the case, I turn to the recommendations at page 4 of the additional circulation. I'd ask Emma to read those for the record.
Thank you, Chair. It is recommended that the Integration Joint Board B approves the tender for a period of up to 5 years and subsequent award of contract for discharge to assess service as detailed in appendices A, A1 and C. And B makes the direction as attached at appendix B and instructs the Chief Officer to issue the direction to Aberdeen City Council.
We're happy to agree.
Agreed.
Yep.
Thank you. I turn now to section 11 and I propose to put a single question to all of the items under section 11 on future meetings. Does any member object? No member objects. I therefore ask that we agree the insight session for the 9th of September 2025 and the next IJB for the 30th of September 2025. I'll be happy to agree those on block.
Agreed.
Thank you very much. So that takes us to any other business, and I have just one item of any other business, and I won't delay you for too long. Most of you will know that this is Amy's last meeting with us, and indeed last day with us. I want to put on record my sincere thanks on my behalf and on behalf of the entire partnership for all of the work that Amy has done since she came into post. She has a hawk eye for detail. She has scrutinized what we had in front of us. She's turned over a number of stones. She's opened up a large number of channels of opportunity to help us find balance and to put us into the best position that we can be in as we go forward. I would like to take this opportunity to wish Amy every success in her future endeavours. Their gain will certainly be our loss. And I'd also like to speak personally to Amy, if I may, if you would indulge me for just a moment. Some of you may know my uncle has been in finance for 40 years now, as a chartered accountant, as an auditor, working with individuals, SMEs, and a couple of multinationals. And I know from him that finance is more than just percentages and numbers. It's more than simply accounts and balance sheets. Indeed, it affects every facet of what we do. We've seen that by the number of questions that Amy has fielded today on a whole range of different reports. My uncle's influence has been quite strong in my own approach to managing money in my life, and in the kindest possible way. I also blame him for my OCD when it comes to planning and organisation. I'm just glad that he hasn't got time to watch this, although I wish he would. I would encourage everyone to watch these meetings, but by the by. One of the questions that I put to Amy when she joined, I asked her, how would she make finance and all of the facets that it has accessible and inclusive to a varied audience, to us as members, to staff, to the people we support, dealing with lots of different types of understanding, lots of different experiences. And she gave me her answer, and I won't embarrass you by telling you her answer, but she gave me her answer and I accepted that, and I set her a challenge and she has more than lived up to that challenge. And I think that is rare in someone who deals with finance. It's very rare to be able to convey all of that complex information in a way which is easy to understand. So I thank Amy for that. She has brought a richness to finance. Dare I even say she's brought a joy to understanding finance. We might not enjoy the position that we're in, but it's certainly a joy to read her reports. It's a joy to listen to her presentations because they actually make sense. You have to understand. So I'm sure she will take that with her to her future endeavours. They will definitely gain from that. We have been spoilt by having Amy with us over this short period. I do wish you all the very best, and I thank you very much indeed for your service. That being the case, I won't keep you folks any longer. Thank you for your engagement today. Can I also thank our staff? It's hard to believe we're into July now. It's been a very busy 6 weeks since our last meeting. Our staff, our stakeholders, our partners, our volunteers, including our lived experience partners, have done a power of work in everything that they do. Very, very grateful for that. It's what keeps the health and social care system running. I do hope you're able to enjoy what's left of the rest of your day. I know some of you have other meetings and, dare I say, patients to attend to. And I look forward to seeing you all at our next meeting on the 30th of September, if not before. Thank you and good afternoon. It is now FS.
See you
Thank
just
you.
before we finish.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.